In India, the rights and responsibilities of citizens are closely linked and cannot be separated. When the Indian Constitution was first created, it included a list of rights known as fundamental rights but did not initially include a list of fundamental duties. This means that the people who wrote the Constitution did not think it was necessary to outline what duties citizens should fulfill. Instead, they focused on the roles and responsibilities of the government, which they defined as directive principles of state policy. It wasn't until 1976 that the fundamental duties of citizens were officially added to the Constitution, during a period of constitutional amendment. Later, in 2002, an additional fundamental duty was included. The idea of these duties was influenced by the constitution of the former Soviet Union, USSR. Interestingly, many major democracies such as the United States, Canada, France, Germany, and Australia do not have specific lists of duties for their citizens in their constitutions. The only prominent democratic constitution that includes a list of citizen duties is that of Japan. In contrast, socialist countries placed equal importance on both the rights and duties of their citizens. For example, the constitution of the former USSR stated that the enjoyment of rights and freedoms by citizens was linked to their obligation to perform duties. This shows a different perspective on the relationship between rights and responsibilities, emphasizing that with rights comes the necessity to fulfill certain duties. In India, the fundamental duties are detailed in Article 51 of the Constitution. This article lists several duties, such as abiding by the Constitution and respecting its ideals and institutions, promoting harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood, protecting the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of the country, safeguarding public property and abjuring violence, to develop scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform, to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity. Overall, the introduction of fundamental duties in the Indian Constitution reflects a growing understanding that citizenship comes with responsibilities, not just rights. It encourages citizens to behave in a way that supports the well-being and stability of the nation. Through articles like 51, the Constitution aims to foster a sense of duty among citizens, ultimately working towards a more cohesive and responsible society. In 1976, the Congress Party established the Sardar Swaran Singh Committee with a specific goal in mind, to address the concept of fundamental duties for Indian citizens. The need for these duties became clear during the internal emergency period from 1975 to 1977. The committee proposed that the Constitution should include a dedicated section focusing on fundamental duties, emphasizing that while citizens enjoy various rights, they also have responsibilities to fulfill. Following the committee's recommendations, the Congress government implemented changes through the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1976. This significant amendment introduced Part IVA to the Constitution, which consists of Article 51A. This article outlines for the first time a specific list of 10 fundamental duties that every citizen should adhere to. The government considered the absence of these duties in the original constitution a critical oversight, claiming that the action taken now rectified the mistake made by the constitution's original creators. While the Swaran Singh Committee originally suggested 8 fundamental duties, the amendment ultimately included 10. These duties range from promoting harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood to safeguarding public property and striving towards excellence in all areas of life. However, not all of the committee's recommendations were accepted. For instance, the committee proposed that penalties could be imposed on those who do not fulfill their fundamental duties, ensuring that the laws related to these penalties could not be challenged in court on the basis of violating fundamental rights or conflicting with other constitutional provisions. Additionally, The committee felt that paying taxes should be considered a fundamental duty of every citizen. However, these suggestions were not included in the final amendment. The fundamental duties specified under Article 51 of the Indian Constitution serve as a reminder for citizens about their responsibilities. These duties emphasize the importance of not just rights but also the moral obligations that contribute to the growth and well-being of the nation as a whole. The duties reflect ideals of patriotism, respect for the environment, and the need for civic participation, thereby aiming to foster a more responsible citizenry. In summary, the introduction of fundamental duties has been a significant step in shaping the relationship between citizens and the state in India. With Article 51A as a guiding framework, the Constitution now acknowledges that the enjoyment of rights is complemented by a duty towards society and the nation. This reformed view encourages a balanced perspective on citizenship, where rights and responsibilities go hand in hand. Fundamental duties in India. The Constitution of India lays out certain responsibilities for its citizens, known as fundamental duties, under Article 51A. These duties serve as a guide for citizens on how to live responsibly in a diverse nation. The purpose of these duties is to promote a sense of responsibility towards the nation and to foster a harmonious society. Here is a breakdown of the fundamental duties as per Article 51A. Firstly, every citizen is required to respect the Constitution, its ideals, and institutions. This means appreciating the values that our Constitution stands for, like justice, liberty, and equality. It also includes respecting the national flag and the national anthem, which symbolize the sovereignty and integrity of the nation. Secondly, citizens are encouraged to cherish and honor the noble ideals that fueled India's struggle for freedom. Understanding the sacrifices made by our forefathers is essential to ensuring that we carry forward the spirit of independence and democratic values. Another fundamental duty is to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India. This emphasizes the importance of national unity above individual differences, ensuring that our diverse backgrounds contribute to a stronger, united country. Additionally, it is a duty of each citizen to defend the country and provide national service when asked to do so. This could involve serving in the armed forces, participating in disaster relief efforts, or any national service initiatives that arise. Promoting harmony and brotherhood among all Indians is also a key responsibility. This duty urges citizens to transcend boundaries of religion, language, and regional differences, fostering a spirit of inclusivity and understanding. Moreover, it encourages individuals to renounce practices that degrade the dignity of women, a crucial step towards gender equality. Further, citizens have the responsibility to value and preserve India's rich cultural heritage. Our country is known for its diverse traditions and cultures, and cherishing them is important for maintaining our identity. Environmental protection is another fundamental duty. Citizens are called to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife. Compassion towards living creatures should also be part of our duties, reinforcing the idea that all life has value. Citizens are also encouraged to develop a scientific mindset, promoting humanism and a spirit of inquiry and reform. This involves questioning the status quo and seeking ways to improve society through rational thought and understanding. Moreover, safeguarding public property and rejecting violence are critical duties. Violence only leads to disruption, while protecting public property ensures that public resources are available for everyone. Striving for excellence in all personal and collective activities is another duty, encouraging citizens to achieve higher standards and contribute positively to the country's progress. Finally, parents have the specific duty to provide educational opportunities for their children between the ages of 6 and 14 years. This duty was formally included in the Constitution through the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act in 2002, emphasizing the importance of education as a fundamental right for children. In summary, these fundamental duties are essential for the growth and unity of the nation. They encourage responsible citizenship by asking individuals to respect the Constitution, foster harmony, protect the environment, promote education, and strive for excellence, all of which contribute to a thriving democracy and society in India. Understanding the features of fundamental duties in India. Fundamental duties are an essential part of the Indian Constitution, aimed at ensuring that citizens contribute towards building a better society. These duties were added through the 42nd Amendment in 1976 and are outlined in Article 51 of the Constitution. Here are some key features to help you understand them better. First, it is important to note that fundamental duties can be classified into two categories: moral duties and civic duties. Moral duties focus on values that are important to the Indian ethos, such as appreciating the ideals from the freedom struggle. On the other hand, civic duties concern the responsibilities that citizens have towards their nation, like respecting the Constitution, the national flag, and the national anthem. These duties reflect values that have deep roots in India's culture, mythology, and traditions. Essentially, they emphasize behaviors and responsibilities that are integral to Indian life. Unlike fundamental rights, which are available to everyone in the country, including citizens and foreigners, fundamental duties are solely applicable to Indian citizens. This means that only Indian nationals are expected to adhere to these duties, and they are specifically designed to reinforce the sense of citizenship and responsibility in the country. Another significant point about fundamental duties is that they are non-justiciable. This means that they cannot be enforced by the courts like fundamental rights. If a citizen fails to perform their duties, they cannot be sued or prosecuted for not doing so. The Constitution does not provide any legal consequences for violating these duties. However, this does not mean they are meaningless. The Parliament has the authority to reinforce these duties through suitable laws or legislation. This allows for the creation of laws that can promote the spirit of these duties in society. In addition to Article 51, which lists the fundamental duties, it is essential to understand their role in promoting values that are crucial for nation building. While they may not have legal penalties attached to them, these duties aim to create a sense of moral and civic responsibility among citizens. They encourage citizens to participate actively in democratic processes, respect the law, and contribute to the welfare of society. In summary, the fundamental duties are vital for fostering a strong sense of responsibility among Indian citizens. They serve as a guide for ethical conduct and civic engagement. Even though they lack enforceability in a legal sense, their significance lies in the values they promote, which are deeply intertwined with India's rich cultural heritage. The spirit of these duties is meant to inspire generations of Indians to not only claim rights but also to fulfill responsibilities, thereby contributing to a more harmonious and progressive society. Criticism of fundamental duties in the Indian Constitution. The fundamental duties, outlined in Part IVA of the Indian Constitution, have faced various criticisms over the years. These duties were added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment in 1976 based on the recommendations of the Swarn Singh Committee. While the intent was to promote a sense of responsibility among citizens, critics argue that the framework surrounding these duties has several shortcomings. One major criticism is that the list of fundamental duties is not exhaustive. It leaves out many significant responsibilities that citizens should uphold, such as voting in elections, paying taxes, and promoting family planning. The Swarn Singh Committee specifically highlighted the duty to pay taxes as an essential civic responsibility, but it does not appear in the current list of fundamental duties. By not including such duties, critics argue that the Constitution does not completely reflect the responsibilities that citizens owe to the state and society. Another point of contention is the vagueness of some listed duties. Certain phrases like noble ideals, composite culture, and scientific temper can be interpreted in many different ways. This ambiguity can make it challenging for ordinary citizens to understand what is expected of them. Critics believe that these duties often resemble a moral code, which can be open to subjective interpretation rather than clear legal obligations. The Swar Singh Committee even suggested that penalties should apply to citizens who do not fulfill these duties, likening the situation to a legal framework. However, since these duties are classified as non-justiciable, they cannot be enforced in a court of law, further complicating their significance. Moreover, some critics argue that the placement of fundamental duties in Part IV, separate from fundamental rights found in Part 3 of the Constitution, diminishes their importance. Fundamental rights are crucial as they protect individual freedoms and can be legally enforced. In contrast, by placing the duties in a separate section, it gives the impression that they hold less weight. Critics suggest that fundamental duties should have been included alongside fundamental rights, reinforcing the idea that rights and duties are two sides of the same coin. Adding to this, the idea that citizens would naturally perform these duties without them being listed in the Constitution has been a point of debate. Critics contend that merely including these duties does not guarantee citizens will fulfill them. Many responsibilities are often exercised out of civic sense and public consciousness, rather than constitutional obligation. Understanding these criticisms helps contextualize the role of fundamental duties within the broader framework of the Indian Constitution. Articles 51A to 51J specifically enumerate the duties, ranging from promoting harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood to safeguarding public property. While these duties aim to instill a sense of responsibility in citizens, the criticisms highlight an ongoing discussion about how to balance rights with corresponding duties, ensuring that a well-rounded civic spirit is cultivated in the nation. The importance of fundamental duties in India. Fundamental duties in India hold significant importance even though they have faced some criticism. These duties remind citizens that while they enjoy their rights, they also have responsibilities towards their country, society, and fellow individuals. Recognizing these duties encourages citizens to be aware of their actions and how they affect the collective well-being of the nation. One key role of fundamental duties is to act as a caution against behaviors that can harm the nation or society. For instance, actions like burning the national flag or vandalizing public property are not just illegal but also anti-national. By establishing these duties, the Constitution creates a framework that discourages such actions and fosters a sense of responsibility among citizens. Fundamental duties also inspire citizens to be disciplined and committed to their roles within society. They emphasize that individuals should not be mere observers of national progress but active participants in achieving the country's goals. This feeling promotes engagement among citizens, urging them to contribute positively to the nation's development. Additionally, these duties aid the judiciary in understanding and interpreting laws. For example, in the case of Mohan Kumar Singhania, 1991, the Supreme Court referenced Article 51A, which outlines these duties, to clarify ambiguous laws. This function helps ensure that laws align with constitutional values and uphold the principles laid down in other parts of the Constitution. Moreover, the fundamental duties are enforceable by law. This means that the Indian Parliament has the authority to impose penalties for failing to fulfill these obligations. For context, H.R. Gokhale, the law minister at the time, highlighted that the inclusion of these duties followed concerns that some citizens were neglecting their responsibilities to respect the law and governance, especially during the politically turbulent times in the mid-1970s. Former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi defended the inclusion of fundamental duties, arguing that they would help strengthen democracy. By making citizens aware of their duties, it creates a balance between rights and responsibilities, fostering a culture of civic participation. The opposition initially disagreed with including these duties in the constitution, reflecting concerns surrounding government overreach. However, after the emergency period, the newly formed Janata Party government chose not to remove these duties, reflecting a growing consensus on their necessity. Furthermore, in 2002, the 86th Amendment to the Constitution added an additional fundamental duty, signifying that there was a recognized importance of these duties over time. In summary, fundamental duties serve several roles in Indian society. They remind citizens of their responsibilities, discourage anti-national activities, inspire civic engagement, provide legal clarity, and are backed by the law. Understanding these duties as part of Articles 51A and related provisions in the Indian Constitution can help citizens become more active and responsible members of society, ultimately contributing to the strength and stability of democracy in India. Verma Committee Observations on Fundamental Duties. In 1999, the Verma Committee was set up to look into the fundamental duties of Indian citizens. During their study, they found that there are already laws in place to support some of these fundamental duties. Understanding these laws helps us realize our responsibilities as citizens and promotes a harmonious society. One of the important laws mentioned is the Prevention of Insults to National Honour Act, 1971. This law plays a crucial role in protecting symbols of our nation, such as the Constitution, the national flag, and the national anthem, from disrespect. It emphasizes the importance of respecting our national identity. Furthermore, the Indian legal system has various criminal laws that aim to prevent conflict among different groups. These laws punish actions that cause enmity based on language, race, place of birth, and religion. These provisions are vital for maintaining peace and unity in a diverse country like India. Another important piece of legislation is the Protection of Civil Rights Act, 1955. This act specifically addresses discrimination based on caste and religion, providing punishment for those who commit offences related to these issues. It seeks to enforce the right to equality promised in the Indian Constitution and protect marginalized communities from discrimination. The Indian Penal Code, IPC, also contains crucial provisions. Under this code, any actions that go against national integration, such as spreading false assertions about the unity of the nation, are punishable offences. This law underlines the importance of preserving the integrity and unity of India. The Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, 1967 is designed to prevent communal violence by allowing the government to declare a communal organization as an unlawful association. This law plays a vital role in maintaining peace and security in society by targeting groups that incite violence. Additionally, the Representation of People Act, 1951 includes provisions that disqualify members of parliament or state legislatures who engage in corrupt practices. This includes soliciting votes based on religion or instigating enmity between communities based on caste, race, language, or religion. This ensures that democracy is upheld and that elected representatives remain accountable to all citizens. Environmental conservation is also part of the fundamental duties highlighted by the Verma Committee. The Wildlife Protection Act, 1972 prohibits the trade of rare and endangered species, aiming to protect India's biodiversity. Equally, the Forest Conservation Act, 1980 works to prevent excessive deforestation and restricts the diversion of forest land for purposes other than conservation. These laws reflect our duty to preserve the environment for future generations. In conclusion, the observations made by the Verma Committee reinforce the idea that the fundamental duties of citizens are not mere guidelines, but are supported by concrete legal frameworks aimed at fostering a respectful, just, and cohesive society. Articles in the Indian Constitution emphasizing fundamental rights and duties encourage citizens to actively participate in upholding these laws, ensuring that India remains a democratic and diverse nation.